Today I am with Mark Wilkinson. He is coach and consultant and international best-selling author. We talk about his book later in time. Welcome, Mark Wilkinson.
Hi, Bashir. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Well, that's a great question. I was an international DJ with Ministry of Sound many years ago when I was but a young man, and I travelled the globe. I went to 65 countries. I DJ'd in London and many other places, great cities around the world, and I did. I had a wonderful journey. Until one day I collapsed, and long story short, I'll put it in my book, Life Remixed, that I collapsed, and then I had to understand a bit more about life and what was actually going on, and it was then that I started to study with Bob Proctor and Tony Robbins in the States, in America. And that was when I started to open my mind to all these other possibilities. Watched The Secret 100 times on Netflix, read the book, the audio book, started to open my mind to actually what I'm thinking about is actually what I'm bringing about in my life. And that was a game changer.
What are the top 3 mistakes to avoid?
Toxic habits. Toxic habits. And that could include, just about anything really. You've got to look after your health first and foremost. But then lots of other toxic habits could be like, eating poorly, spending too much. It really is important to get into the universal law of create or disintegrate. And there is that universal law. We have a minute by minute opportunity to think about something new and different in a creative way rather than destroying ourselves. So certainly, don't destroy yourself. Always look to create.
One more, please.
One more. Don't drink alcohol.
Okay. That essentially comes in the first one. Thank you. And what is your greatest failure story, and what did you learn, and how did you recover from it?
Okay, so I was diagnosed with an incurable disease when I was 33. I collapsed, couldn't walk, was in a terrible place. Mentally as well, I was suicidal. I was thinking, this is it. I might as well just kill myself and not be here anymore. And I don't think you can get any lower than that. So that was the biggest failure. My health failing me was a huge thing. And what I had to understand was that I was responsible for the result of the failure, if you like. The other thing that I failed in hugely in my 30s was I was bankrupt. So I found myself bankrupt at the age of 38 and living in my mum's spare room, which was a very strange moment in my life. After being an international DJ, traveling the globe, having a top 10 hit, to come to that kind of like downward spiral. So dis-ease and bankruptcy were the two big things. What did I learn? Everything. I learned everything. They were actually two of the best moments of my life, even though they weren't at that time. Looking back, they were the best moments of my life because they made me change course. They made me go, no, come on. You're better than this. Dust yourself off. Let's go again, and let's do it better this time. And that's when I started to learn about The Secret. And then I followed Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, and then continued on reading, learning, studying, growing to be the happy, healthy person I am today. Happy, healthy, and wealthy person I am today.
What are your top 3 secrets of success that other can follow?
So it depends, because everyone's at a different level. And when I do my 12-month coaching program, I get some real beginners who are just coming in and they need to get moving and they need to understand how to get moving. And then I've got more people that are further up the chain, are more successful and want to drive on further. So the 3 entry-level things that I say are to get yourself into the present moment. And to get yourself into the present moment is vitally important. Because if you're looking back in anger or forward in fear, you're never going to be successful in this moment right now. So the things to get into the present moment that I talk about are forgiveness. So forgive yourself and forgive everyone else, everything, because it really helps. It means you're not carrying stuff around with you anymore. Acceptance. So be in total acceptance of this body, this face, this mind, be total acceptance of what's going on. in the world, just accept it, okay? And then get grateful. And if you can get really, really grateful for what you've got right now, you're sending a powerful message to the universe that you are ready for more things. So, and that's what I do. And I've just been practicing this for the last 12 years. I've just written a book. I'm an international best-selling author. I've got a 12-month coaching program. I've got 100 coaching clients. I've got all this amazing stuff happening because I started when I was completely down with nothing material to my name, signing on for a welfare check in the UK for like £40 a week or something. I forgave myself and everyone. I totally accepted where I was, and then I could get moving forwards. And I became grateful for the basics: food, clothing, shelter. And those were those are the great start points.
What is the impactful business book you read, and what did you learn from it?
Oh, I've read a few, Bashir. I've read a few. I'm just going to throw a few up here. One is obviously Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. That's a brilliant book. My mentor here in the UK, Kevin Green, The Rich Rules, another brilliant book. But the daddy of them all, the granddaddy of them all, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. What did I learn from this? Everything. He studied 500 millionaires for 25 years, Napoleon Hill, and he put it all into this book. There is a lot of things in this book that we need to read, and not just once. We need to read them 100 times. We need to repeat. We need to program our subconscious. We need to make progress. So I learned just about everything there was in this book. Start with a desire, be persistent, make decisions, understand your energy, understand how to outwit the 6 ghosts of fear. I mean, the list goes on. This book here, Bob Proctor, one of my mentors, has been reading this book consistently for 50 years. I highly recommend you do the same, because I do it, and it's led me to incredible success.
Mark, I know you're an author by yourself. Please show us your book and why somebody should read your book.
Thank you very much, Bashir. So my book is Life Remixed, international bestseller, as you can see there. It's called Life Remixed, and it's looking beyond the dance to face the music. There's a few stories in there about when I was younger, about being a DJ, and I had to be honest, and I had to put all the honesty in there and just lay myself bare and say, look, these are all the mistakes I made, and here it all is. And it's almost like a cleansing experience to write it all down and then go, oh no. But I wrote it all down for a reason. I wanted people to understand that these are the reasons that I did the things I did when I was younger. And there's a lot of history in there, obviously, about music and stuff like that for the first few chapters. And then after that, there's a lot of information about how I fixed all my problems. So there's a bit about how much fun it was in the 80s and the 90s with house music culture in the UK, how much fun it was, then how bad it got when I collapsed and no money and unable to walk and suicidal. And then these are all the things I did to fix it. So for me, Bob Proctor, as you know, my mentor, he said, this book, for anyone looking for hope, this book offers an abundance of it. And with hope, you have options. And that's true. So this book, particularly as we come out of this worldwide crisis, I hope this book's going to help a lot of people. It's a recovery guide for coming out of a crisis. And it's been 10 years in the making, and I'm really happy that it's out there now. So thank you, mate.
What do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, it's a great question. My legacy is important now. I'm actually 51 now. I know I don't look it, but I'm 51 now. And my legacy is very important now. My legacy, I want to be known as a great author. Bob Proctor actually has likened me to Og Mandino, which I was very grateful for. For me, I want to be known as a great author. I want to help as many people as I possibly can be happy, healthy, wealthy, live a successful life, and leave their own great legacy. So that's my goal. My purpose in life, I've come up with my purpose. My purpose is to bring joy, knowledge, inspire, and create. So as long as I can do joy, knowledge, inspire, and create, and those are the 4 things, you can put that on my gravestone. I'll be happy.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
I believe that life is happening for you, not to you. So life is actually happening for you right now. If you're having a tough time, there's a message. If you've got any pain in your body, as I did, I couldn't walk. You know, any pain in your body has a message. Any external pain in the world for you has a message for you. So you must listen. You must listen for the message. You know, many people get so sort of down and on themselves and the world and everything else. Listen to the message, and then what can I do to change me that will then have better results? Take full responsibility for everything, even the things you don't like. So it's such a difficult thing for many people to do. It was difficult for me to do, but take responsibility for all the things you don't like and the pain and everything else, and then set about getting knowledge on how to fix it.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Do you mean my wife? My wife is also my business partner, and she's amazing. She's a bit more steady paced than me. She likes steady pace. So I'm much more fast paced, but she's much more steady paced. I rarely have to convince her. She believes in me. She believes in my purpose, my vision, my goals, and we're a team. We're a team working together.
Wonderful. What do you want to do when you grow up?
Brilliant question. I wanted to be a footballer, a soccer player. I wanted to be a soccer player, but I was very, very bad at that. So I couldn't do that. But the next thing, I remember being 6 years old, and I've written it in Life Remixed. I remember being 6 years old and hearing Elvis and the Beatles on my mum's stereo, and hearing this music and going like, oh, this is amazing. Whoa. And I started to play the piano, and then I practiced the trumpet and all this stuff. But as soon as I learned how to become a DJ and mix records together, that's all I wanted to do. And that's all I did for 20 years. Went all over the globe. I produced records. I had a top 10 hit with David Bowie and Lou Reed. I produced records. I made records. I traveled the world. I played records. All I did was music for 20 years. And that was living the young man's dream, let me tell you.
Who is your living mentor, and what is the impact they have on you?
Do you know what? I think everyone needs a coach, Bashir. Everybody needs a coach, no matter what you're doing. I've got a nutritional coach. I've got a physical trainer at the gym, personal trainer at the gym. My best living mentor is Bob Proctor. I've been following the guy since I first saw him in The Secret, probably 16 years ago. So Bob Proctor's a huge one for me. The impact is just changing the way I thought and perceived everything. I just started reading, all the books he recommended. I just read them, and what I find fascinating is that the same impact or the same thread goes through every single book. You read every single book. Yes, I've got a different take on it. You've got a different take on it. Everyone has a different take on it, but it's the same message largely. It's all just running through. It's about success, and ultimately the impact is success. I mean, just before I came onto this call, I'm talking to finance companies about how to finance our next £1 million deal here in the UK. I mean, that's the impact.
Mark, we are into a quick answer and quick questions and quick answer round. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
What are you grateful for today?
Oh, everything. My wife, my dog, the weather, this office, you, me, books, music, everything.
How do you start your day?
I wake up, I think of things to be grateful for, which is why the first question was so easy for me. I think of things to be grateful for. I drink some water, I do a little bit of exercise, and then I get ready for work.
Why is being impactful important to you?
That's a great question. My drive is actually that I don't want anyone else to go through the pain that I went through. It's not about life. That's struggling. That's just struggling. If you're in a lot of pain mentally, physically, if the bank balance isn't as good as you'd like, or whatever it is, I want to be able to help. I love to help.
Who is your ideal client?
Great question. I've got clients from all over the world. I would say anyone that has a little bit of dissatisfaction in their life, if they've got some dissatisfaction and they're looking at an area of life, if they want better health, better relationships, if they want more money, they want to add more value, they need purpose, vision, goals, whatever it is, that person, a little bit of dissatisfaction is a creative state. If you're completely satisfied, then that's great, and I'm happy for you. But there's so many people in the world that are just, it's not working. Why isn't it working? I've got the strategies to help now.
What is the advice you would give to your younger yourself?
Stop the toxic habits. Stop the toxic habits. Yeah, don't start drinking alcohol at 14. Stop chasing girls. So many things. You know, I don't have children, but I do have a young nephew and a lovely niece as well. And I will be giving them all the advice. I would say to them, don't worry. Worry doesn't help you. You know, don't worry. Just relax. Life is happening for you, not to you. And then let's just develop and grow. And my legacy to my young niece and nephew, I want to leave them millions. I want to look after them so that the next generation and the generation after that and the generation after that, they know that I added so much value to everybody's lives that they will follow through on that and also enjoy that as well. So the advice I'd give to my younger self would be to focus on the good stuff.
What would you say your guest experience on the show today?
It's been really lovely, mate. It's been really lovely, Bashir, and I do appreciate the invite. Really, I do. Thank you.
How can we support you?
I would love people to check out my website. Yeah, there you go. Perfect timing. I would love people to check out my website, markwilkinsonofficial.com. I would love people to get in touch if they just need any help. They just want to have a chat. We have a free 30-minute discovery call with myself. People can book into my diary. They can have a discussion with me and then obviously see if I can add the value to their lives. And if they can, then they're welcome into my coaching program. What
would you say as a final word?
I want to say thank you. I would say remix your life. You know, if there's anything that's not right, it's not quite how you would like it, step up, take responsibility, remix your life. And I want to say thank you to you for inviting me, Bashir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark, for your time and wisdom with us. On the behalf of Entrepreneur Empowerment Club, we and the entire team, we really appreciate you. Today, we had the conversation with the coach and consultant and best-selling international author, Mark. And next time, we will have another amazing guest. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.